Dave Palumbo with another Redcon 1 RxMuscle rant. Today's topic is bodybuilders' love affair with the needle. That's right. My friend Jimmy Quinn, I believe, is the one who originally coined that phrase, my love affair with the needle. But the question is, do bodybuilders have an addiction, dare I say, a love affair with taking injections? It's possible, right? Think about it. Bodybuilders, take steroids that they have to inject. They inject growth hormone. They inject IGF-1. They inject insulin. And at some point, I believe that bodybuilders start to equate improvements in muscle gains and growth with the actual needle itself. It's almost like a pill can't achieve the same thing that an injection can, because an injection is at a direct, it's almost like a fuel-injected engine. It's a direct, conduit to getting that growth factor or that growth potential into a person's body. Unfortunately, in some cases, that needle, that addiction with the needle can go beyond that. It can go to the point of using recreational drugs, Nubain, heroin, dare I say, other narcotics that can be injected, injectable Valium. Guys like to inject Lasix before a show to rid themselves of water. So bodybuilders do have this love affair with this syringe. And the question is it detrimental to progress? Do people start doing too much because they think the more they inject, the better? A good example is, guys who use Nubain, and I happen to have had an addiction to that in the past, start doing small injections of it. It starts, like once or twice a day, and then it turns into every 20 minutes throughout the day. And the funny thing about Nubain is that there's a ceiling on it. You can only get, so much of the effects of Nubain until it stops working. So people are just kind of injecting the stuff, and they're not even getting anything out of it. Once again, it goes back to that addiction that bodybuilders have with that needle, with that syringe. And once again, I really believe, and because look, I was involved in this sport for a long time, and I used plenty of performance-enhancing drugs, and I understand the mentality. The mentality is you inject it in, it works better, it works faster, and it must be more potent then, right? Now, nowadays, they sell injectable vitamins. TitanMedicalCenter.com obviously makes that available. You can inject glutathione, which is good for your immune system, and as an antioxidant, you can inject amino acids prior to working out to help give you like that pre-workout nitric oxide release. You can inject certain compounds like GABA at night to go to sleep. There's certain stimulant type injections you can do now. And once again, people, especially bodybuilders, love to inject, and you do feel it more, and you do feel it faster. And I think that mentality can be good to a certain degree, but it can be very destructive. And what I'm here basically to tell you today is that you have to become aware of that addiction that you have, that love affair with that pin, that thing that you're going to stick into your arm or your shoulder or your butt or whatever you're going to do. Understand that there's an addictive aspect of that, and that you must somehow create balance. Okay, I have to take this and this and this, but that doesn't mean I have to do 14 other things or try to up the ante, so to speak. More is not better. Taking 14 growth hormone shots during the day is not better than taking one in the morning. Okay, so that mentality of more is better gets carried away when you start playing with the syringe, because once again, we start equating results with direct injection into the body. Now, it's an interesting and it's an unusual topic because, I don't think people ever really analyze psychologically why they're using this pin or syringe or what they're getting out of it or what mentally they're getting out of it. They just think, I have to take it. But after a while, it can get out of control. And I've seen it happen with many bodybuilders that I'm working with that just start taking more and more and more shots. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? All of a sudden, they're going from every other day or 3 times a week, they're taking their steroids every day. They're like, well, I figure if I take less of it every day, it would be better. And once again, it goes back to that addiction they have with that syringe. Most people when they first start, they don't want to take any injections. They're like, you know what? I'm glad I don't even want to do injectables because I don't want to take a shot. That goes away very quickly. After about 2 weeks, you can't wait to take your shots anymore. Going back into the 90s when guys would inject Esicline into their body parts, like before a show, I mean, Flex Wheeler admitted to taking like over 100 shots the day before a show to inject all his body parts. I mean, what normal person would do that except a bodybuilder? Because of this love affair with the syringe. And once again, what you do with what I'm telling you here today is up to you. But what I'm trying to do is make you aware of this thing that's going on inside this brain of yours. Don't let it get carried away. Don't let it get out of control. And certainly don't let it escalate to proportions where you're going to sabotage the health aspect and the beneficial muscle building aspect of what you're doing by progressing to recreational type drugs. Because that's not what bodybuilding is all about. Bodybuilding is about building muscle. It's about projecting health to the world. That doesn't mean that taking steroids is necessarily that healthy, but obviously if you're building muscle and you're burning fat, okay, and you're increasing metabolic rate and you're taking vitamins and minerals and eating high quality foods, that projects health to me. Injecting heroin, Nubain, taking Percocets, all that stuff, that's very detrimental as far as I'm concerned to the health and to the, I guess, image that we're portraying to the kids out there and to the people out there that bodybuilding is a healthy lifestyle. Everything we do has risk at the elite level. Let's face it. Cycling, running, marathon running, sprinting, professional football with concussions. Every sport at the elite level has negatives and has health ramifications that the athletes that are involved have to become aware of. But at the lower levels, it doesn't have to. And so, you know, if you're a guy just starting out or a girl just starting out, that doesn't mean you need to escalate things to the proportions or the epic proportions of what Olympia athletes use and do. Once again, if you have an addictive personality, watch that syringe. Don't get carried away with it. Remember, it's a tool to achieve an end result. It's not a passionate part of your lifestyle. Don't make it that important in your life or it will ruin you. Dave Palumbo with another RxMuscle rant.